Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing a video where I turn popular characters from the media into Dungeons and Dragons characters because I'm kind of a nerd and I like Dungeons and Dragons. It's going to be a series, and I think it's pretty fun. Today we're going to do episode 1 out of 7 of Umbrella Academy characters. If you don't know what Umbrella Academy is, it's a show on Netflix, and it's really good. I really enjoy it. And yeah, it's good. They made season 2 like a little while ago, a couple months ago now. But still, I thought that it'd be cool to start with the Umbrella Academy characters. And luckily for us, their names are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we got a pretty clear order for us. So I'll be back when I'm ready to start with number 1. So, if it wasn't clear already, massive spoilers for the show. So if you don't want to have any spoilers, do not continue after this point. But we're starting with 1, or Luther. Luther got his name from his robotic mother, after his dad, who bought him, neglected to name him, because he only bought him for the superpowers. So Luther's ability is one thing, he's partially monkey, he's partially King Kong, so that's pretty cool. And his thing is super strength, and the monkey thing kind of added to that. But I'm gonna set a couple rules for this challenge. So let me add a couple like text boxes. Hold on. You know what, I'm not even going to add text boxes, I'm just going to explain it. So, rule 1 is basically, I'm trying to do this in the least amount of levels possible. So, while I could just make every single thing level 20, and it would be nice and easy and wrapped up in like a tight little bow for me, I want to, see the lowest level that I can make the character in the best recreation that I can at the lowest level that I possibly can. Multi-classing is allowed. All characters have to be human because of the show, and I'm going to try and get them as close as possible as I can. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Diego, no!
So, obviously we're going to put the name in. Oh my gosh, my horrible spelling. There you go, Luther, and I'm going to put that one. So, the first thing that we did is, well, actually, let's go over here to human. I put as his thing. He's very, in the show, he's very, he's not, like, very chaotic, and he's pretty good. So I put his thing as, chaotic good. Now, we're just gonna give him, that's too much, 34,000 experience points, and player name, I'm just gonna do underscore. His background I put as a hermit because he went to the moon and he was there for 4 years and he was really disconnected from human life. He didn't know anything that happened to his brothers and sisters. So yeah, that's the explanation for those. I'm gonna go for there's 3 different classes because I mentioned multi-class. This one was kind of difficult, but we did a multi-class, like this, so, there you go. Now, I will be explaining all of these, so, basically I gave him, I made him a paladin, for a couple of the paladin spells, I wanted to make it so he could power up his fists and do as much damage as possible. So that's why you see the paladin in there. So with the paladin, I gave him the spells. Well, actually, let's go to the spell sheet. Slots total for this. So I'm just gonna add a couple of these. So the spells that I did were this, Divine Favor, and Thunderous Smite. Because Thunderous Smite gives you an extra 2 6-sided dice of damage, and also it knocks people back 10 feet. So I think that because Luther's so strong, that makes sense. Divine Favor just allows you to do an extra 1d4 with your attacks. And then we're going to move on to the 2, like the level 2. So the only one I have here is Branding Smite, which gives an extra 2d6, and then it gives an extra 1d6 for every level above, every spell slot level above 2. So if I casted it as a level 9 spell, I would get 10 6-sided dice worth of damage. But I am trying to do it at the lowest I have possible, so I only have 2nd level things, so it's only going to be doing 2d6 damage right now, and just gotta prepare those spells. Now, for the next thing, well, I did multiple spellcasting classes. First of all, there's Paladin, which is, a Paladin and Wizard. The reason I did the Wizard is to get these level 2 spell slots, actually, because I couldn't really get those spell slots easily with the Paladin, so I threw the Wizard class in there to get those spell slots. And if you're wondering why I didn't just do full Wizard, you can't get these spells as a Wizard. You can't get Divine Favor as a Wizard, only as a Paladin. Same with Thunderous Smite and Branding Smite. You can only get those Paladins, so I had to do the Paladin, and I think that it did kind of make sense for Luther as a character. So that's that. I have to write down the spellcasting abilities. So there you go for the Paladin and the Wizard. Spell save DC is 13 and 11, and the spell attack spell plus 3 and plus 5. So yeah, I know that that's a little bit confusing, but it's just how it is. I'm gonna go back to here, and this is where we have. Well, actually, let's go to the weapons real quick. Unarmed Strike, which is what he's going to be doing most of. Unfortunately, you can't see it, which sucks, but because of his skills, he has, he's really strong, so fortunately you can't see that. But it says Unarmed Strike plus 8, 1 plus 5 bludgeoning damage. For strength, that he has 20 strength, which is the max that you can have, and then there's, well, actually, you can do it however you want. I like to do it like that. So that is how I'm going to do it. It is going to take a while, and then I'll fill out all this, and then I'll be back when I'm done filling all of that out, and then we can do Diego, or number 2's character sheet. Okay, so I'm done filling it out, well, except for, like, this, but, that's not too important. So I'm not really going to bother with that because it doesn't matter. But, another thing that I forgot to explain was, Barbarian Path of the Totem Warrior, which means that, basically, they can transform, at least partially, like Luther is. He's only half monkey. But he can transform, like, partially into monkey when he goes into his rage, which he has 3 of, which allows him to do extra damage. So, let's just say he went into a rage, right? So, he now does, 8 damage, just by themselves, and then they also have the Totem Warrior of the Monkey, so I'm pretty sure they do extra damage. And Monkey isn't normally one. The normal ones are Eagle, Hawk, I believe, is one of them, Wolf, Bear, and I think there's another one. And Monkey usually it isn't one, but I have decided that it does say that you can ask your DM for a different animal than what is listed, and then you can have the DM either take the traits off of an existing animal or make up their own traits for it. So I decided that I would put the Totem Warrior in there. I added a Monkey. It has the same stats as the Bear Totem Warrior, so if you want to research that, you can. But this one is pretty much done, so I'd say that we should get to Diego. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've written everything down for Diego. The lowest I could do it was Rogue 7 and Ranger 2 for all these abilities, which I will get to later. But I put Gladiator as the background because he was kind of doing a boxing thing early Season 1 before he quit or whatever. He was like practicing boxing. It wasn't. You get the point. I just think that Gladiator fit him pretty well. He had 48,000 experience points to be a level 9 character of 7 levels in Rogue, 2 levels in Ranger. Human, obviously, and Chaotic Neutral I felt fit the alignment. Now, 20 Dexterity, the max that you can have, 16 Strength, 17 Constitution, 12 Intelligence, 11 Wisdom, and 11 Charisma. And there's the skills. He mostly uses daggers, sometimes he punches, which is why, that's okay. But it's relying on strength, so it's not, the best. The dagger is +9, it does a good amount of damage, So then, if we go down here, we have the spell sheet. We have one spell that is Hunter's Mark. So let me, go and grab that spell and then, read about it. So, Hunter's Mark is a spell that basically lets you choose a creature within 90 feet and mark it, right, just to you. And until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1 6-sided dice of damage to the target whenever you hit it. And you have advantage on Wisdom or Survival checks made to find it. Now, this part is not something that Diego is going to be using, because his power is basically he can throw knives or anything and really guide it to where he wants to hit. So, if he wanted to, he could throw it, he could throw it north, and then he could curve it so it would go east, and then he could turn it one more time and make it go south. So, if there was someone behind him, he could throw it forward, realize there's someone behind him, turn it around, duck, and make it hit the guy behind him. So, that's like his power. So basically, we're only going to be using the extra damage, and also, you check. Oh wait, hold on. No, I messed up. I read the spell wrong. If the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action to subsequent turn on a subsequent turn of yours to mark a new creature. So. Yeah, I mean, that's not that important. But at higher levels, you can maintain it for longer. It doesn't add any damage, though, unfortunately, but you can maintain it for longer. I do only have 2 level 1 spell slots, and that's why I took the levels in Ranger. But also for one more thing, for the Close Quarters Shooter. The Close Quarters Shooter is the ability, it gives me the ability, if I was to throw a dagger from close range, it wouldn't be very effective. However, the Close Quarters Shooter allows this character to make ranged attacks at a close range without having disadvantage, and also getting a +1 bonus to all ranged attack rolls. So, basically this would be a +10 because of that ability, but I'm going to keep it at +9 and then add the 1 later because that's how it's supposed to work. So that's helpful, the Close Quarters Shooter. But the reason I took 7 levels in Rogue, one, there's Expertise, which I have an Expertise in Acrobatics, Sleight of Hand, Stealth, and 1 in athletics. So those are all important, but they're not really the main reason I did this. Diego was kind of like a vigilante in the first season, and so I did the assassin archetype, which gives us the ability assassinate, which let me read the description for assassinate. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. In addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit, which is important because let's say I come around the corner and I surprise a goblin. I see a goblin. I throw a knife at the goblin and it instantly becomes a critical hit because it was surprised. Now, the next one, Uncanny Dodge. This isn't like a throwing ability. This isn't helping him with his aim. This is, well, not like he needs it, but this is when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to half the attacker's damage against you. So that's helpful. Now there's another one that I believe that I have forgotten. It's called Evasion. Now, the trait Evasion, when you are subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed and only half damage if you fail. So if there was a spell that was everyone who's affected by the spell makes a dexterity check, everyone that fails takes X amount of damage, and everyone that succeeds takes half of X damage. This means that if they succeed, they take 0 damage, they take none, and if they fail, they only take half, which is really useful. And then Steady Aim. Steady Aim is really similar to the close quarters shooter, because it lets you, let me just explain it better by reading the description. As a bonus action, you give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn. You can see this bonus action only if you haven't moved during this turn. After you use the bonus action, your speed is 0 until the end of the current turn. So, you get advantage on your next attack roll, which means it would be a lot easier to hit. Advantage means you roll 2 dice and you take the higher dice. So those are all the things. I wish there was a spell that would allow you to like guide something that you threw, because that would be really helpful. But unfortunately, there's not. So we just have to, pump up the dexterity and then add things to make it so it will virtually never miss. And this is the closest that I can get it. But if there's any way that you can think of to get it better, then please let me know. That's going to be all for this video. And goodbye.